In recent years, the technology improved so fast, which brings lots of convenience to our daily life. People get connected to each other through the internet. And today, IoT, which is the Internet of Things, that becomes very important in our daily lives. This is my overview. I will talk about what's IoT, the definition of IoT, the advantages, and then I will talk about why IoT matters. The example is like the smartphones, and then IoT examples like some smart home. Besides, I will talk about three categories of the IoT, and finally give the predictions in 2019. Firstly, the definition of IoT is like the physical devices online, connected people from the different countries, different regions by the collecting and sharing data. People can listen to music from different countries, or they can buy stuffs online, like buy the different countries' snacks or the bags or something. They also have the advantages, like they are so convenient. But besides that, in business, it also has another name, which called the industrial IoT. Like the entrepreneurs should have access to move the data about their own products and their own internal systems. They have very great ability to make changes. So why is IoT matters? I come up with the several cases. Like because we have the advanced technology, like the smartphones, the computers. We can take all the things in the world and connect them to internet. From my point of views, I think because the February 14th is the Valentine's Day, and I really want to buy the favorite bags, which from the Singapore. So I just searched the brand name online, and then I found that, and then I just use my Visa to pay that. So finally, I will receive the package a few days to get my favorite bags, which is from the Singapore. So I think the stuffs all posted on the internet can help different countries people get together and connected with each other. It brings lots of convenience. So that's why it's so important. And I will give you some IoT examples and IoT devices. For example, like a light bulb. We can control the degree of the intensity. We have the apps on our cell phones. So we can just use the apps to switch the degree of intensity on our phones. And the other example is a motion sensor or smart devices, smart thermostats in office or connected street light. Like in winter, the temperature can be adjusted to very warm temperature. And in summer, the temperature can be adjusted to let people feel cool. And there's also the bigger scales like the smart cities projects. It fills the entire regions with the sensors and also helps the people understand and control the environment. Like if there's the extreme cold, the sensors can help all cities to keep balance and also to keep the temperature warm, like not so cold. And the other example is like the smart home. The smart home, like if we if we drive back to our homes and we want to park our cars, we can use the IoT devices to click the button, and then the garbage will open the door, and then we can park our cars. If there's the cold weather or snowy outside, we can enter the room and the thermostat adjusted to our preferred temperature, like the warm temperature. We can feel so warm. And the light can be lower intensity, which means if you forget to turn off the lights and you really want to sleep, you can use the IoT devices and keep the light dim. You can choose the very proper color for relaxation. So you can use that kind of devices to release your daily life's pressure. And the other examples I have found when I do internship, because I'm the business student, and so that I know lots of like business devices. And this picture shows like the smart sensors located in conference. Like the devices, the advanced devices help the employee locate and schedule the available room for a meeting. They can give the very proper time, like the type, the size, and the features. Like when attendees enter the room, the temperature will adjust. The device is so smart. They can make the light dim when the PowerPoint plays. So for the business, it saves lots of time. It seems so efficient for the employees to make the meeting and talk about the like business project. Those stuffs are so automatic and original. So that's why IoT is so popular. And I divide the IoT into the three categories. The first one is the collecting and sending information. The second one is receiving and acting on information. And the third one is they can do in both. For the first one, collecting and sending information, like some sensors, especially on the farm, they can give the information about the soil moisture. Even though the like farmers, they are so familiar with the crops, they know like when the crops will be mature or how much water they can like irrigate. But the IoT devices can show very exact information about when it needs to be watered and know exactly how much water should use to irrigate. So people always say the IoT allows the machine to make the sense of the world because the computer can get the like information about the exact irrigation and the temperature sensors. The definition is like the sensor which senses the changes in the temperature, which means the temperature can be adjusted automatically. There are three different types: the RTD, thermistor, and the IC sensors. For the RTD, they have the advantage like they are more stable, they have the very high accuracy, and the thermistor advantage is like they have very high output, very faster in operation, and the IC sensors, they have the like very highest output. They are so cheap. And this picture shows the RTD. They are more stable and shows the very accurate data on the computer. And then I will tell you the receiving and acting on information of the IoT. For example, like the printers. I always print in our slow, and I know how to print. Like I need to download the documents and then on the computer and then click the print button. After that, I need to go to the printer place and swipe my Slow ID card. Finally, I will get the files printed. And then, like the other example is like the car receives a signal from the car key, and then the door will open. So the both devices is based on the turn on button. We just use that button and then we can get what we want. So that's really, really convenient. And then I will tell you about the doing both. I also want to show the farming examples. It can not only can collect and send on computer, but also can receive and act the information. Like you can see in this picture, like IoT in smart farming, how it becomes so smart. The computer can collect the weather information, and when it rains, people don't need to irrigate because the rains can be the water and saves lots of extra water to irrigate. The information shows how to make the crop growing so fast. So it also helps the people understand by computing the data. So that's really, really helpful for the farmers. And then I will tell you about the 6 prediction from the 2019. The first one is IoT growth will continue. The second one is 5G networks. The third one is IoT security becomes more important. The fourth one is big will be beautiful. And the fifth one is players give up on IoT. You can see in this picture, for the IoT growth part, the number of mobiles increased so fast. You can also see in your life, people in everywhere, people can't live without their phones. So you know how much important for the people to use the IoT devices in their lives. And also in the 2020, the investment are expected to give the money to top $1 trillion. And the IoT devices will reach an inflection point. Like in 2019, 1.3 billion will have the connection. And this picture is about the 5G networks, which is linked to robotics and automation. It enhances the capability of the computing. For example, like the self-driving cars. You can see these cars. People drive by themselves. They also need to use the hands, eyes, ears, brains, organs to help them drive safer. But if you have the IoT devices, you will have the computer and the control electronics, the cameras, LiDAR, radars. You can just use those very advanced IoTs to help you drive safer. And then the topic is like the security need to be more important. In very beginning, the IoT markets, lots of producers want to just produce the products instead of keep paying attention to the security problems. Therefore, the number of IoT devices increased, but the security becomes vulnerable. Therefore, the hackers can carry out the cyber attacks on the IoT and other targets. The security problems also shown that the sensors that monitor humidity or the temperature can't handle the security measures. And then the big will be beautiful, which means biggest players dominate the IoT. The platforms vendors such as the Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, and Google, they are very large markets. And also the AT&T, Verizon, and Vodafone keep expanding IoT markets. Those very large markets evolve and expand, which helps the IoT devices, the IoT market grows so fast, so that the IoT becomes a very major roles in people's daily life. And some players will give up on IoT because they focus on the niches, such as the data moment, industry-specific challenges, and the different types of devices. The small single country invest on another places because the IoT devices needs to spend more money to add to establish. Though the small countries, they don't have the ability to deal with the very expensive cost. So some players give up, but that's not so convenient. And the IoT skills have the shortage, and it will also continue. People have the very high requirement of the skills, like IT skills. The report shows that over 2/3 companies can't apply for expertise. The very high demand for IT workers whom should major in device equipment application development, the general utilization of IoT technology, which is so hard to fund. So to sum up, IoT helped a lot in people's daily life. It brings lots of convenience. The very fast, advanced, the original devices to our daily lives, which benefits us a lot. It also increases our standard of living. We will have the very happy mind when the temperature can be adjusted. If we feel so cold, we can make the temperature warm automatically. And we can also release our pressure. Just click the button and then the light will be dim. Even though they have the lots of security problems, but the advantages brings more benefits to people's daily lives. So people still and continue using that instead of giving up more. And the IoT devices give the very big connections to the world. Lots of people share their stuffs. People can buy the stuffs from different countries, different regions, which can also promote the world economics, society, and the cultures. Therefore, for me, I think IoT is so important, and it's so convenient to people's daily lives.